inspired by a couple of others and my own contribution, and I'd like to share this list with you. First, learning the power of purpose. A person who has purpose in their life, they have something to go for, some meaning. One writer described it, for some people it becomes a magnificent obsession. And for you and I, maybe it doesn't need to be that dramatic as a magnificent obsession. But it has to be something that does something to us, something that pulls us, especially into the future. You know, there are many influences on us. One is the influence of the past. Some people are always pulled back by the past. Some people are always pulled aside by the distractions. But here's what's powerful. If you have a list of high purpose in your life, it pulls you toward the future. And the more powerful the purpose is, the stronger it pulls. And here's the other great advantage if you have purpose for the future. It pulls you through all kinds of challenges and all kinds of difficulties. If you don't have these strong purposes for the future, it's easy to get swallowed by a bad day. It's easy to be almost annihilated by a poor month. And it's easy sometimes to almost disappear beneath the waves of a year that goes backwards if you don't have something to pull you beyond that year. So if you want something to pull you through all kinds of challenges, all kinds of difficulties and things that come at you, you got to have something on out there beyond today, beyond next week, beyond next month, beyond this year that pulls you into the future. And the clearer it is, the stronger it pulls. The more dynamic it is, the more it affects your life, your spirit, your heart, your soul. It also creates imagination. It gets your mind working on how to achieve that purpose. And if your mind will work, and if your heart works, and if your spirit works, and if you have good input, like good ideas, I'm telling you, there isn't anything you can't accomplish. So that's one of the great powers that'll make a variable of you, and that is purpose. Here's the next one, self-confidence. Where does self-confidence come from? And this is the best advice I can give you on that. Not neglecting, first of all, the small daily discipline. Self-confidence really comes from feeling good about yourself. And one of the best ways to feel good about yourself is at the end of the day to know that you poured it on. You did your best. If you conducted a meeting, you did the best you could. If you made a phone call, it was the best phone call you could possibly make. If you wrote a letter, it wasn't a casual letter, it was your best letter. At the end of those kind of days, when you feel good about yourself, self-confidence starts to rise. You know that if you can have this kind of a good day, you can have another one the next day, and those days become the weeks become the months, and the month becomes a powerful year. Self-confidence comes from the lack of neglect. If you will not neglect to do the small daily disciplines, that's where self-confidence comes from. Part of good health is self-confidence. I know I'm going to be healthy. I take the Herbalife products. I eat the apple a day. I walk around the block. I do the jogging on the beach. At the end of the day, when you've really poured it on and you've done all the stuff, self-confidence grows. That self-confidence affects your health. It affects your future. It affects your psyche. So this is true. One of the great powers is self-confidence. Self-confidence means willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve. Some people say, well, I'll do it for a little while and see what happens. You know, I'll try a couple of things. If that doesn't work, I'm out of here. And all of us know that that kind of person doesn't have much of a future. But if you're willing to do whatever it takes, if I have to learn a couple of things, I will learn those things. If I got to learn 5 or 6 things, I'll learn all 6. If I have to take an extra class, I'll take an extra class. If I've got to read the books, I'll read the books. If I have to consult with people who know more than I know, I will do the necessary consulting. Whatever it takes, I will do. That starts to develop unbelievable self-confidence. Self-confidence also comes from the ability to rise above your circumstances. To rise above what happens, the petty little things, the discouraging things that would sink everyone else's ship except yours, that would cause someone else to quit early in the day, but you keep going. That kind of willingness to overcome all circumstances Whether it's the little challenges or the big challenges, if you're willing to do that, I promise you, this kind of power will work for you, and in you, the variable, it'll make a difference. The third on the list I had was enthusiasm. And here's what I wrote about enthusiasm. Enthusiasm that's powerful is mostly enthusiasm that is enthusiasm inside, 90%, 10% outside. We all know what the enthusiasm is like when somebody lets us see their enthusiasm, which is like the 90%, and only 10% of it is inside. But the enthusiasm that really affects people is not just being loud, but the enthusiasm that runs deep, the enthusiasm that comes from deep inside, created by self-confidence, created by purpose, created by genuine willingness to help other people. That kind of enthusiasm, knowing that you're going to get the job done, knowing you're going to affect people, knowing you're going to have testimonials flowing in from all kinds of directions. That kind of enthusiasm. A lot of it is quiet. A lot of it is unheard. And the 10% that's heard, it rings a bell. People call it genuine enthusiasm because they know that what you say in the outward display of your enthusiasm is only a small tip of the iceberg of the enthusiasm you feel inside that really motivates you to do the best job you can. Next on my list to help you become the powerful variable is expertise. Wanting to excel in all of the skills and settling for nothing less than an outstanding performance. What? If you're willing to be the best in your field, if you're willing to demand of yourself excellence in skills, to be the best that you can possibly be. In the training, do the best you possibly can. In doing a workshop, do the best you possibly can. Developing the skills of using your personality, developing the skills of language, developing the skills of influence, developing the skills of organizing. If you're willing to be an expert in all of the skills, Herbalife has the way for you to invest those skills and not only make a handsome living, not only make a lot of money, but if you would so desire and if it would be your purpose, a chance to make your fortune. Expertise, excellence in skills. Here was the next one on my list, making a powerful contribution to you, the variable, and that is preparation. Well prepared. And preparation, of course, involves a whole lot of things. A big share of our life is preparing, getting ready. When we go to the first grade in school, we're just preparing for the second grade. After we've finished 2 grades, the 2 grades prepare us for number 3. Sometimes it seems like a long, excruciating time. And the time will just seem like it'll never come when we can finally have the performance that we really want. But it takes time to prepare. It takes time to get ready. And the decisions you make in the preparation time, those are the decisions that last for a lifetime. Preparing to have a good day. It's that preparing, maybe the night before, maybe the couple of days before the day that you're going to put everything together. The preparation for a meeting means that you've taken it serious. The preparation for doing a workshop means you're serious about the workshop. You want to make the best contribution. That kind of preparation is important. But here's preparation that's very vital, and that is to prepare yourself for success. Life seemingly does not wish to waste success on the unprepared. Life says, why waste a fortune on this person? They're not prepared to do the right things with it. They're not prepared to use it wisely. If a fortune was bestowed upon this unprepared person, it would probably be wasted. The people that could have been touched won't be touched. What could have been done won't be done because this fortune will have been wasted on the unprepared person. So not only look for fortune, not only look for the promise, but prepare yourself and ask of yourself, what can I do to make myself ready? Because remember, life was designed not to give us what we want, not to give us what we need, but life was designed to give us what we deserve. Every value in life must be paid for. And those that pay are the ones that get it. It says those that give, receive. Someone says, I wish to receive, I wish to receive. You don't have to concentrate on receiving. Just become a good giver. It says those that search will find. Someone says, well, I need to find some good ideas to help change my life for the future. Then to find good ideas, that doesn't come because you need them. It comes because you search for them. If you want good ideas, you got to go after them. You got to go to the class. You got to go to the workshop. You got to go to the training. Go to the book, right? You got to go to the journal, right? Go where good ideas are being taught. Go searching, go looking, because good ideas are not going to be wasted on those that are not seeking, searching, well prepared. So prepare yourself to be ready for fortune when it comes, to be ready for challenge when it comes, to be ready for opportunity when it comes. Opportunity comes along and passes by the person that is not well prepared. I want to prepare myself this year for next year. Yes, I wish to be effective this year, but I'm also thinking of ways, how could I be better? How could my ideas be more powerful? How could they be sharper, more clear? How could I reach some people next year that I perhaps can't reach this year? I haven't reached deep enough into my own soul to affect some people. Some people just pass by and say, hey, what a good speech. But how could I make it stronger than that, deeper than that, more powerful than that? I cannot be as powerful as I could be next year. You know, you can't go to the 10th grade in the 5th grade. You just got to go through the grades. But the more you are prepared, when the 10th grade finally comes, now you can cash in and get 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more value from it by being prepared. I want to do my best this year for Herbalife, but I also want to get ready for next year, 1999. And then when the year 2000 comes at the turn of the century, I want to be well equipped by language, by instinct, by temperament, by personality, by influence, to really be valuable the year 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my goal. I'm sure it's your goal. Now here's the next one. There's great power in self-reliance. Self-reliance means you simply look mostly to yourself. It would be nice if someone just gave you this, gave you this, gave you this. It would be nice if everyone did their job exactly as they're supposed to do it. But here's what you've got to do. Primarily rely on yourself. Primarily say, I'm the person responsible. And I will learn the necessary skills so that I can help people learn their skills. If I need lots of people to do certain things to build my organization, that is what I must have. But I've got to be the final backstop. I've got to be the final one that people can rely on. So that if this is missed and this is missed, I can catch up. I can fill the gap. I can do the job. We have to do it when we conduct meetings. We have to do it when we conduct training. We have to do it when we're in a class of just a few. What someone might have missed, we're there to fill in. Self-reliance. Primarily, we're learning to count on yourself. So that you can do this. Never complain and never explain. Here's the next.
All right, guys, 60 seconds. Send out that last 60-second message. We usually start at 15 minutes in. So 60 seconds till we get the call started. Send out that last message. It is Monday, and it is June 6th, and I am super, super excited to get this call started. So 60 seconds, and we get the call started, fam. 60 seconds.
Next key power, and that's image. There's many parts to image. The image that others see you as, the image you have with other people. And it's very important how other people see you. If they don't see you as a leader, chances are they won't pay attention. If they don't see you as being in control, chances are they won't have the trust. If they don't see you as knowing where you're going, what you want to accomplish, they probably won't follow. But if people can see you, if you have the image of someone that's in charge, in control of your life, your future, your destiny, in control of the situation, if they see that, that kind of image is powerful. It helps to win the day. It attracts other people. People want to be around people that are in control, that are powerful, but they know how to use their power. Influential, but they know how to use their influence. That kind of image is important. But here's a very important image, and that is your image of yourself. The way you dress, the way you talk, the way you think, your capacity for learning. All of that is an important image that you have of yourself. The image that you have that if it needs to be learned, you could learn it.
All right, family. There we go. There we go. Super, super excited. Grand Rise, and hope everybody is having a blessed morning thus far. I know I am. I'm feeling so good to start the week off. Let me get the lighting set up here correctly. And I'm just super excited to be on this call because it's every Monday morning for me is always a blessing, is always an excitement because it's like it's the start of the week, it's the start of something new. And I'm always so blessed and I'm always so excited to be on this call with each and every single one of you. So big happy smiles. It's always a blessing. I actually got in the ocean this morning. So, my hair is wet and all over the place, but I'm excited to be on this call. I had to get in the ocean. It just felt so nice, felt so good, to just clean off all the energy from last week and started off with some good energy this week. Had a great meditation session, good reading session as well, by the way, and, good little journaling session. So really excited to be on this call and start the week off with, some great values, some great, stories that I want to tell you guys as well. It's a story I told yesterday on my team call. I want to tell it to you guys here as well, so you guys can get some value from the story that I said yesterday. But I'm going to dive deeper into the story. And it's called the Lumberjack Story. And yesterday I only mentioned it for like about 5 minutes and broke it down and kept the call going. But I'm going to dedicate this whole call to that story and the importance of it and, the way you should look at it, because I feel like you guys can get a lot of value from this story as well. And you guys are going to appreciate this story as well. And you guys are going to probably start telling the story in the future as well. So before we get the call started, though, guys, let's express some gratitude. What is one thing that you are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box, right? What is one thing that you are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box. Let us all know in the chat what is one thing you are grateful for. I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for his presence and his grace. I am grateful for my family, my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for my team, the leaders within my organization. I'm grateful for Katie and Hazel, who are over there playing around. I'm extremely grateful for my sis Armani, who's in here with me as well. Grateful for the roof over my head. Grateful for my mentors, Matt Rosa, Jason Brown, Alex Morton, Matt Gribby, Darwin Lopez, Sean Murphy. Extremely grateful. I'm grateful for my phone that allows me to run my business from it. I'm grateful for the systems in my body. I'm grateful for water. I'm grateful for food. I'm grateful for just so many amazing things that are happening in our lives right now. I'm so grateful for the support that we get on a day-to-day basis. I'm extremely grateful for that. Grateful for my penthouse that they're building right now. I'm extremely grateful for that. Nice little penthouse that we got behind us, right, guys? They're building our condos behind us. So, we got to be grateful for the condos, right? We got to be grateful for the condos because they're building it right now behind us. We're just putting in the work that is required in order for us to, in order for us to get it, right? In order for us to be deserving for it. So, we good, man. I mean, at least we can see them building it for us, right? We can see them building our penthouses and our condos and everything. So I'm excited for that. And I'm just really looking forward to everything. So let's get this call started. Let's go live here on IG. Okay. Let's go live on IG. And let's get this rocking. All right. So today I'm going to go over the Lumberjack Story. Okay. And before I get that started, I want you guys to type it at the top of your type it or write it down at the top of your paper. All right. And there's a lot to the story. Okay, there's a lot of hidden gems in the story, and like I said, I was talking about it with my team yesterday, but I only spoke about it briefly because we were on a call, and there was a lot of other things I had to cover, so I only spoke about it for like about 5 minutes. But today I'm gonna talk about the Lumberjack Story, and I'm gonna really dive deep into what's the story behind it, why it's so important, and the keys behind it. All right, so put a 1 in the chat box if you guys are ready for the Lumberjack Story. Okay, if you're ready for the Lumberjack Story, put a 1 in the chat so I know that everybody here is ready to go. Okay, amazing, amazing, amazing. So the story goes as such, and I want you guys to find a way to take notes on it, find little points that come with the story. But let's talk about the Lumberjack Story. So the Lumberjack Story goes as such, right? There was this skinny lumberjack, all right? He was a skinny guy, and he arrived to a new town, all right? It was a new town. He had moved from his old town to a new one for his family, for his kids. He just needed a new environment for his family overall. And the only thing he knew how to do was cut down trees. He was a lumberjack, okay? But he was a skinny lumberjack, okay? So when he went to this town, okay, at this town, he was looking for a job, because he needs to make money for his family. And when he went to get jobs, at certain places to cut down trees, everybody kept denying him because he was too skinny. Like, yo, there's no way that you're a lumberjack. There's no way you're going to get a job here. You're way too skinny. You're way too frail. You're weak. There's no way that we can use you here. All our guys are strong. They're big. They got big muscles. We're looking for real lumberjacks. And he's telling them, like, no, this is what I do. This is what I did my whole life. I've always cut down trees. Okay. But they didn't believe him. So he went from place to place, looking for a job. Okay. But nobody wanted to hire him because he was too skinny. Okay. So at one point, he got sick and tired of everybody doubting him. And he said, you know what? He went to this one place and they gave him the same sob story. Yo, you're too skinny. You're too weak. There's no way we're going to hire you. So he said, you know what? Since you guys don't believe in me, I want you to put me against your best guy. And I bet you that I can cut down more trees than him. That's what he said. He said, who's your strongest guy, who's the guy that cuts down the most trees, I want you to put me against him. And if I can prove to you that I can cut down more trees than your strongest guy, okay, then you can hire me as a job. Is that a deal? And the boss of, the lumberjack company said, yes, that's fine, right? Because they started laughing at him. They were like, bro, there's no way that you're going to cut down more trees than our strongest lumberjack. There's no way. So they were like, okay, whatever, cool. So tomorrow, come in. We're gonna cut down trees for 6 hours. We're gonna start at 10 a.m. and we're gonna work from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 6 hours. Okay, from 10 to 6 is when we're gonna work. Sorry, from 10 to 4, 6 hours. Whoever can cut down the most trees in those 6 hours wins. If you lose, you don't get the job. If you win, you get the job. That was the agreement. Okay, but remember, he's going up against the strongest lumberjack in that job, in that part of in that field, right? So long story short, the skinny lumberjack shows up the next day, okay, and they got 6 hours. He's going up against the strong lumberjack. So the strong lumberjack versus skinny lumberjack, okay? And for 6 hours, okay, they cut down trees, all right? Guess what happens? The first day, the strong lumberjack cuts down 50 trees. Okay. He cuts down 50 trees in 6 hours. Okay. The skinny lumberjack cuts down 55 trees in 6 hours. And the strong lumberjack lost his mind. He was like, there is no way that this skinny lumberjack, he's weak, he's cheating. He was able to convince the boss that the skinny lumberjack was cheating. He said, there is no way, boss, that this lumberjack cut down more trees than me. I'm the best at what I do. I cut down the most trees each and every single day. This is what I do. This is what I'm about. He cheated. He has somebody else cutting trees for him. Maybe it's his friends. Maybe it's something else out there, but there is no way that he beat me. And he was able to convince, okay, the boss that the skinny lumberjack cheated, even though he cut down more trees than him. Okay. So he said, you know what? We're going to do this again tomorrow. Okay. We're going to give this another chance tomorrow because we didn't watch you. Okay. Now, listen to this. The next day, the strong lumberjack shows up 2 hours earlier. So remember, they work from 10 to 4. Okay, they work from 10 to 4. So the strong lumberjack shows up at 8 a.m. He shows up 2 hours earlier to start cutting down trees. Okay, so he shows up 2 hours earlier. He's like, this skinny lumberjack is not beating me this time. Okay, so he shows up 2 hours earlier. So he works an extra 2 hours. All right, the skinny lumberjack arrives 2 hours late. So instead of arriving at 10 a.m., the skinny lumberjack shows up at 12. And he only cuts down trees for 4 hours. And guess what, guys? He wins again. The skinny lumberjack wins again. The strong lumberjack cut down 50 trees. The skinny one cut down 5 more than him, which is 55 trees. Now everybody in the whole entire job is confused. Everybody's like, wait. There is no way that I showed up 2 hours earlier. You showed up 2 hours late and still cut down more trees than me. There is no possible way that this is happening. But you know what it is? You got it. They gave him the job. But look at the story, though. They said after they gave him the job, the strong lumberjack got into the boss's ear. He said, look, boss, there's no way that this guy is beating me. We need to follow him home and see what he's doing. We need to follow him and see what it is that he does, because there has to be he's cheating. There's no doubt in my mind that he is cheating. So the next day they follow him home. And as they follow him home, they realize that, he goes home, he gets home, he spends time with his family, he eats dinner, he reads his newspaper, but he did one thing that none of the other lumberjacks did. After he was done spending time with his family, after he read the paper, after he had dinner with his family, he would spend the majority of his day sharpening his axe. He was sharpening his axe for hours and hours and hours a day. And that's why he had the golden axe. Because while everybody else was going home, spending time with family, going to sleep, having their beers, okay, he was going home, spending time with his family, but he was spending hours sharpening the axe. Okay, so when he would show up the next day, it was just one hit and the trees were done. While it was taking the strong guy a few hits with his axe to hit the tree down, he was only hitting it once. Boom. And it was sliding right through because his axe was so sharp. Now, what's the moral of that story? The moral of the story is, guys, you need to start sharpening your axe. You need to be the skinny lumberjack. That even though you may not be the smartest, even though you may not be the strongest, even though you may not be the brightest, every day you sharpen your axe more than the people out there. And sharpening your axe in the story means sharpening your mind. Because you got to remember this, remember, everything in the story is symbolism. Okay. So what would you guys think the trees are in terms of symbolism? What do you think trees symbolize in the story? What do the trees symbolize in the story? Type it in the chat box. Obstacles, adversities, challenges, problems, life, circumstances. That's what it symbolizes. So think about it. Think about the story. It didn't matter how strong or how much experience or how much time, or if he got there earlier or if he got there later, didn't matter. All that mattered was who had the sharpest axe. Whoever has the sharpest axe is the one that's going to make it through the journey. Okay, because remember, life is going to throw you challenges, obstacles, challenges, obstacles, challenges, obstacles after another one, after another one, after another one. But is your mind sharp enough to beat through those challenges, to sharpen through those challenges? Because that's what it's all about right here, guys. It's the preparation. The preparation in the story, the skinny lumberjack goes home, spends time with his family, eats dinner, and then guess what he does the rest of the day? He spends the rest of the night sharpening his axe, getting ready for the next day. So in order for us to get to where we want to go to, in order for us to really, really get to the next level, guys, we need to sharpen our axe. And our axe is our mind. How many hours a day are you working on yourself? How many hours a day are you consistently reading, listening to audios, asking questions to your mentors, meditation, writing down your goals? These are all ways of sharpening your axe. When I first heard this story, I was so grateful for it. You know why? Because I knew that my morning routine was the time that I spent sharpening my axe. Your morning routine, if you think about it, that's why I always tell people your morning routine is the key to everything. Why? Because if you do your morning routine, your axe is sharpened. And now any problems, any adversities, any challenges, or anything that happens throughout the day, you're ready to cut them down. You're ready to face any challenge that life throws at you because your mind is sharp. Now, the only way that the challenges and the problems get the best of you is if you haven't been sharpening that axe. If you haven't been sharpening the axe, though, you're not going to be able to cut down those trees. You're going to struggle to cut down those trees because you haven't been working on the mindset. And guess what? Those trees eventually become, obstacles in your journey, because until you cut down that tree, you can't get to that next level. Until you don't cut down that tree, you're not going to be able to see what's on the other side of that tree. So guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to go back home and sharpen that axe and come back with a sharp enough axe in order for you to cut that tree, which is where now you put the work in up here. And this is what I've been telling you guys for months. Work on yourself. Work on your mind. What book are you reading? What audio are you studying every morning? What meditations are you doing? What audios are you listening to? How many times a day are you writing in your journal? Are you working out? Are you eating healthy? This is all part of sharpening your axe. Because remember, there's going to be a lot of trees throughout the day, throughout the journey that you're going to have to cut down. And some are going to be small, some are going to be big. But are you spending that time working on you? Because that's going to be the key for you to make it through this journey, is how sharp is your axe? That's one of your tools. It's one of your tools right there. That axe is one of your tools to make it in life. But if you don't sharpen that axe, how are you going to make it through the challenges? Because life is hard. Life is filled with a lot of trees. There's going to be a lot of trees in your life, a lot of them. Some of you guys right now have trees that have you stuck in a certain position because your axe isn't sharp enough to go through. So you've been stuck in the same position. You've been stuck at the same level for the last few months just because you haven't been able to sharpen your axe sharp enough to break that tree, to slice through that tree. And that is so important for us to understand, because remember what I always teach you guys. It's not about less challenge, it's about more wisdom. It's not about wishing that you were better. No. It's not about, let me see, which one am I saying right here? It's not about less challenge. It's about more wisdom. It's not about wishing you were better. It's about wishing that you had more skills. Okay. And that's the key. Because now that you understand that, that is going to be the game changer right there. And once you get that, everything changes. Everything. So I want you guys to type in the chat box, how many hours a day are you guys spending sharpening your axe? Right? How many hours a day are you spending sharpening your axe? Type it in the chat box. Okay, 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 to 3, 1 to 2, 1 in the morning, 1 in the night. But are you guys doing it intentionally though? Is it intentional? Are you guys doing it intentional? Because remember, we talked about this. We talked about this last week. Are you guys intentionally, okay, sharpening that axe? All right. Are you intentionally sharpening that axe? Because that's the key. Now, there's another part of the story that gets powerful as well. Okay, it's the part of the story where you're going to have people that are going to doubt your abilities, right? The strong lumberjack doubted the fact that the skinny lumberjack could be better than him, that the skinny lumberjack could put in more work to him. And that goes hand in hand with the people that we have in our lives that don't believe. That goes hand in hand with the situations that we go through on a day-to-day basis, right? Where we have family, we have friends, we have coworkers, we have classmates, we have people we went to school with that doubt our abilities. They doubt that we can be successful. They doubt that we can build a business. They doubt that we can go out there and build an organization and be leaders of hundreds and thousands of people. You're going to have that a lot during this journey. And you got to remember this, fam. Friends and family won't support you until strangers start to celebrate you. You got to remember that. Friends and family won't support you until strangers start to celebrate you. Okay? And remember this. This goes hand in hand with what I just said. The reason why friends and family don't support you when you start your journey is because they see you for who you are. Strangers see you for where you're going. It's something that you have to truly remember, because there's going to be a lot of people in life that are going to doubt you, fam. There's going to be a lot of people in life that are going to go against what you do. If I would have listened to everybody along my journey that told me, Nano, go get a job, it's not going to work. Network marketing doesn't work. It's hard. Most people fail. I wouldn't be right here, because I would have bought their opinion. And remember, if I bought their opinion, I would have bought their lifestyle, because guess what? The people that were telling me those things, I love them and I appreciate them, but they're still broke. I love them. I appreciate them. I tell them to this day, but they're still broke. And they're unhappy with their lifestyle. And I didn't, and I still love them, and I try to put them on, but some people are just closed-minded. They're just closed-minded. So think about it. If I would have said, you know what, you're right, bro, this is not going to work, let me listen to what you're telling me, I would be living the same lifestyle that they're living. I would be living the same lifestyle that they're living, because remember, I bought their opinion, so now I live their lifestyle. But because I rejected their opinion, and because I said, you know what, I don't care what you have to say, I don't care that you think that this isn't gonna work. It was hard for my parents in my ears all the time. Nano, the bills. Nano, you're 23, you're 24 years old. You're on your computer all day. Where's the money? You say we're gonna be millionaires. Where's the money? We need money. Go to school. Go get a job. My father started to look for jobs for me to become a cop, and he told me to become a firefighter, and that I'd be great at this, and I didn't buy none of their opinions. None of theirs. I didn't care what my mom said, my dad said, my friends, my teachers, my coaches. I didn't care what anybody said. I had a dream that I wanted to do a specific thing, and I did what I wanted to do. Because it's my dream. It's not theirs. If they love me enough, they will support me. I had to have that conversation with my mom and my dad. I told them, look, I literally sat my mom and dad down once. I remember it was like yesterday. It was a Saturday. And I remember walking into the living room, and my mom and dad started complaining about the bills and how I'm not helping, and that, you know, that the job that I was doing, because they thought that what I was doing was a job. They're like, oh, this thing that you're doing online, you spend all your time on your computer, but, you know, you're still asking us for money. And like, we can't continue to live like this. We need you to help out with the bills. We have a bunch of bills that, you know, are unpaid right now, and so on and so forth. And, you know, obviously it's difficult to hear these things, but, you know, I had to tell my parents, I'm like, look, mom and dad, like, I got to be honest with you guys. You know, the dream that I'm working towards takes time. Okay. And having you guys in my ear all the time, complaining, being negative, not supporting me, isn't helping me get to where I want to go to. Okay. I told my mom and dad straight up, I'm like, you guys are not going to kick me out of here. It's not like you're going to throw your son on the streets of New York City. So you have to deal with it. I'm not going anywhere. So support me. If you're not going to tell me nothing positive, if you're going to complain about it, don't even tell me, because I don't need to hear it. I need to focus on making sure that I get this right over the next few months, so I can help with the bills. And they just stayed there. And I remember the look on their faces, because they were kind of like, they had that sick face, right? They were like, okay. They're like, vamos a ver. That's what they said. They said, let's see. But, you know, still they were like, we'll see, but you need to start making money soon. They still kind of put the pressure on me, right? But I had to sit them down, and it was a very respectful conversation. It wasn't like I was disrespectful. I have nothing but an immense amount of respect for my parents, more than you guys will ever know. I never talked back to my parents. I never disrespected, cursed, none of that. The respect that I have for my parents is incredible. But I had to have that conversation respectfully with them, very respectfully with them. And they understood. And from that point moving forward, okay, they didn't complain. And it made it a lot easier for me, because now I wasn't hearing those negative doubts and fears and insecurities. And, you know, and even though sometimes they would still do it, I had to learn the power of being in that environment. Because you see, the reason why most people fail is because they haven't learned how to master their environment. Remember, some of you guys have no other choice but to be in your environment, because that's all you got. It's not like you can move right now to another country or another city and no. It's not, that's not how it works. So you got to learn how to master your environment. Okay. And that's something that I hadn't done yet. So something I had to learn how to do was, right, I would always, like I always told you guys, every time I lived on the 6th floor, okay, and every time I mastered my environment, I went from living in a 3-story bedroom apartment in New York City, and guess what? I turned that 3-bedroom apartment into a penthouse in my mind, right? So every time I was going up in the elevator, I was going up to my penthouse. Okay. Anytime I ever walked in the room and I heard my mom talking about anything that had to do with being poor, lack of money, bills, and all of that, I had already started to reprogram my mind to tell myself the complete opposite. So if my mom would say we're poor, my mind was programmed to tell myself that I was rich. If my mom said that, if my mom was complaining about the bills, I was telling myself I am so grateful that I get to pay all the bills in full and everybody's happy. Like I was training my mind during that time to not be affected by anything. Okay, not allowing their energy, okay, to become my energy. Okay, and it was something that I had to install in my mind because my mom would say we were poor and I'd be like, mommy, no, we're rich. She'd be like, rich where? Where's the money? You know how Hispanic parents are, right? I used to be like, mom, we're millionaires. She used to be like, y el dinero, where's the money? Right? Where's the money at? Okay, but I was training her and I was telling her and I was switching it to a positive, but they didn't see it. Right? They didn't see it. They didn't understand it at the time. And I would tell them like, mom, we're going to be millionaires and this and that. And I used to tell her and I used to tell her and I used to tell her that I was going to make a lot of money. And I used to tell her that I was going to figure it out. But at the time, they don't believe. They don't believe. They don't believe because they don't see it. Remember, our parents, majority of our parents, they got to see it to believe it. They're not those kind of people that you could just tell them and they're going to believe. No. They have to see it to believe it. Okay, so for years and for hundreds of times, what I did was all I did was, yo, here you go. We're millionaires. And you got to understand that stuff, guys. It's so important. A lot of us haven't learned how to master our environment just yet. You got to master it. Master that environment. Master that environment because you're going to have people in your life that are going to doubt you, that are going to try to bring you down with them, that are going to give you opinions that are not going to go, that are not aligned with the things that you want in life. And some of those people are your friends as well. I used to hear my friends complain about how much they hated their jobs. I used to hear my friends complain about how they were working check to check. I used to hear my friends always talk about, yeah, bro, I'm broke, man. Let me hold $1. Let me hold $1, Nano. You the rich guy now. Let me hold $1, bro. I'm broke. But what they didn't know was that as they were telling me they was broke, I was telling myself I am rich. I didn't have to say it out loud. In my mind, I was telling myself I am rich. I am abundant. I am wealthy. I have more than enough money. I was mastering my environment because I had no other choice because I lived there. And I didn't have the money yet to move out of the environment. So I had to do what was best, which was master the environment. And I knew that until I didn't master that environment, I wasn't going to be able to get to where I wanted to go to. I've gotten to the point where even though I go back home, like for example, I got to go back home after I move out of here for a few weeks before I head to DR because I got to go to NFT New York. I don't know if any of you guys are going to NFT New York, but I'm going to go to NFT New York. We move out of here on Friday. So the last mornings when Nano here will be on Friday. So I go home, but I'll be home for like a week or two. In that week, I already know how I've mastered that environment. So being home for me is the biggest blessing for me always. And then guess what? I moved to the Dominican Republic. I'll go out there. I'll spend some time out there. And then I'll move back to Miami again in the fall. Because I got a lot of traveling to do. I got invited. I got to go to Toronto this summer. I got invited to go speak in Mozambique, Africa, East Africa. I got to go to Germany as well. There's a few countries that I got to hit up this summer. Okay, so for sure this summer, Dominican Republic. I got Dominican Republic on there. I got Germany. I got Toronto and potentially Vancouver. And I got East Africa as well, Mozambique, that I got to hit up this summer. Okay, so I got a majority of my summer is going to be on the road, so I'm going to be on the road majority of the summer. Okay, so it's important that, you guys understand this stuff. But look, if I didn't master my environment, I wouldn't be here right now. Wouldn't be here right now. I learned the importance of mastering my environment. I learned it. I learned it. And that's what some of you may have to learn in order for you to get to the next level. You may have to learn how to master that environment. Because if you don't learn how to master your environment will just become a product of you. They say this. They say you are not a product of your environment. Your environment is a product of you. You are not a product of your environment. Your environment is a product of you. You create the environment. You create that environment. Listen to that again. You are not a product of your environment. You are not a product of your environment. Your environment is a product of you. So whatever you see in your environment is a product of what you created through your thoughts, through your feelings, and through your insecurities. Now it's time. You can't do nothing about what happened in the past, though. You can only do something about what you're doing in the future and what you're doing now. I've been reading the book, The Power of Now. Where is it? Can you grab it? I think I put it right there on the chair, on the table. I want to read something to you guys that I read this morning that was super powerful. And I think you guys are going to be able to get a lot of value from this because it's important. But today I was reading The Power of Now, and I really like the book. It's a tough read. It's been one of my toughest reads yet. But certain chapters hit different. And let me find it for you right here. So, and it was talking about just life in general. It was talking about problems and, how, problems don't exist, until we give them meaning. And this is what he said. He said, ultimately, this is not about solving problems. Sorry. He said, ultimately, this is not about solving your problems. It's about realizing that there are no problems, only situations to be dealt with now or to be left alone and accepted as part of the isness of the present moment until they change or can be dealt with. Problems are mind-made and need time to survive. They cannot survive in the actuality of the now. Yeah, you have to reread this book a lot. Yeah, I know. I've been like, I take 30 minutes to read 10 pages. Literally, it's so hard sometimes. But it does make, when you get the book, it hits you hard because look at what he said. He said, ultimately, this is not about solving problems. It's about realizing that there are no problems. It's about realizing that there are no problems, only situations to be dealt with now or to be left alone and accepted as part of the isness of the present moment until they change or can be dealt with. So think about it. Every problem that you feel like you have in your mind is not really a problem. It's only a situation that needs to be dealt with. Either you're going to deal with it now or you're going to leave it or accept it as for what it is and let it pass with time or allow it to change over time. So a lot of the problems that you have are not really problems. They're just situations. Now look at what he says. He said, when you focus on the now, okay, there's no problem. There's no problem if you focus on the now. So he says, listen to this. The mind unconsciously loves problems because they give you an identity of sorts. This is normal and it is insane. Problem means that you are dwelling on a situation mentally without there being a true intention or possibility of taking action now, and that you are unconsciously making it part of your sense of self. So think about this. Look at what he's saying. This is so key. He said the mind unconsciously loves problems because they give you identity. He said this is normal, but it is also insane. A problem means that you are dwelling on a situation mentally without there being a true intention or possibility of taking action now, and that you are unconsciously making it a part of yourself. Okay? So, certain individuals have problems in their lives, okay? But they have no intention of attacking that problem right now. So, guess what? Unconsciously, that is becoming your identity. And that's the reason why so many people stay stuck, is because they have a problem, but they don't attack the problem. So unconsciously, subconsciously, that problem becomes your identity. And you attract what you are. If you become a problem, you will attract more problems. So if you're wondering why you're always attracting problems, it's maybe because you've made problems your identity and you haven't attacked your problems now. He said, you become so overwhelmed by your life situation that you lose sense of life and of being. Or you are carrying in your mind the insane burden of 100 things that you will or may have to do in the future, instead of focusing your attention on the one thing that you can do now. That's important. That's important, right? Listen to that again. You become so overwhelmed by your life situation. I know so many people right now that are so overwhelmed by their life situation that you lose sense of your life and being. And then you end up carrying in your mind this insane burden of hundreds of things that you will and may have to do in the future. And instead, you should be focusing your attention on the one thing that you can do right now. This is what happens to most. I know personally people right now that are going through this right now as I speak. People that are dealing with situations in their lives. But because they're so worried about the future and what life is or whatever in the future, that they forgot about what they can do today to get rid of that problem. And guess what? Every day that problem and those worries and those doubts and those insecurities live in your mind, the more they become a part of your identity. The more they become a part of your identity. And this is why sharpening that axe is the most important thing that every single one of us needs to do. Because if you think about it, what can we do right now to get rid of this problem? Sharpen our axe. Work on our mindset. That's what we need to do right now. Too many of us are allowing our problems to become our identity because we are not taking action now to get rid of them. Because if you think about it, if you're not waking up every day and working on yourself to become a better version of yourself so you can be better to defeat those problems, then guess what? Those problems are becoming your identity. Your problems have become your identity. They become your identity. And you attract what you are. You attract what you are and who you are. So if you're allowing these trees being in the way of your journey to be a problem in your life, then guess what? You're going to attract more trees to keep you stuck. This is the real facts right here. Some people in your life won't tell you this stuff. I'm going to tell you this stuff. I'm going to tell you straight up how it is, because a lot of people need to understand this stuff. I've been sharpening my axe for years. This June makes it 3 years since I started sharpening my axe. 3 years. I haven't been doing it much longer than some of you guys. I've been doing this since 2019. I slacked off for almost 2 years, not working on myself. A year and a half. It was a year and a half, if I'm to be exact. For a year, my first year and a half, I barely did any personal development. I barely read a book. I didn't sharpen my mind. I didn't have a morning routine. I didn't write my goals down. Okay, I didn't have a goal card. Right, I didn't have a goal card. But then after that year and a half, I realized that I wasn't going to make it. If I never made the shift to start doing a morning routine, to be 100% real with you guys, I'd probably still be broke and living at my mom's house. I'd probably already be done with this business, and I'd probably be working a job right now, if I'm being 100% honest. Because I would have never made it. And that's the reason why most don't make it. Is because most people don't do the work that others don't want to do. Think about it. No, you think people want to read, journal, meditate, work on themselves, listen to audios, meditate? People don't want to do that stuff. Remember, guys, people used to make fun of me for doing that stuff. People used to be like, yo, who this guru, monk, Nano think he is? Who this nerd think he is? Over here reading books and posting books on Instagram and telling people that books can change their lives, and meditating and writing in his leather journal that looks like who knows what. People didn't understand. I would put personal development in the car. People would be like, yo, take this stuff off, bro. We're not gonna listen to this. Not today, Nano. Nah. You're not gonna come in here and have us listening to these old people talking about success and all of that stuff. I promise you, it used to be like that, bro. Bro, people would get tight at me. I used to be like, bro, we're not listening to music today. I gotta listen to my audios. Nah, bro, take this stuff off, bro. I'm not playing with you. Not today, bro. Put on some Meek Mill. Put on that new album. Take this off. Enough of that. I lived it. Trust me. I promise you. I lived it. And not that I didn't listen to the music. But I had to do what was required. I had to do the things that most weren't going to do. I had to observe the masses and do the opposite. I literally had to observe the masses and do the opposite. I had to do the complete opposite of what everybody was doing. That's what I did. It's a cold world. That's a fact. Bundle up. And it could be a cold summer for some of you guys if you guys don't get right. I love the summers, because the summers, everybody's having fun, getting lit. And I'm at home studying, working on myself, working on my dreams. While everybody's out having fun, getting lit, drinking, doing everything in their mother to have their best summer ever, I'm at summer investing, saving my money, and traveling to different countries. That's what I'm going to be doing all summer, traveling to different countries, having new experiences. Man, I get to go to East Africa. I've never been to Toronto. I've always wanted to go to Toronto. I've never been to Vancouver. I get to go to Vancouver. I get to go spend some time in DR, go check out my baseball academy, go live on the beach for a little bit, right? That's what it's about. I don't have time to party. What do I got to celebrate? What are we going to celebrate? Until every single person on this call isn't making multiple six figures, how are we going to celebrate? There's no way. Too many of us are spending too much time celebrating things that there's really no time to be celebrating if you're not where you want to be. And that's why this lumberjack story is so important, because in the story, all of us are that underdog lumberjack. We are all the underdog lumberjack, the skinny one that nobody believed in. That's us. But we have to be the ones that shut everybody's mouths up. And we have to be the one that silence all the critics. We need to sharpen that axe. And yes, there's going to be people that don't believe. And yes, there's going to be people that think that we're crazy and that it's not going to work. But just keep sharpening that axe. Keep sharpening that axe. Keep sharpening that axe. Every day when you go home, when you wake up, sharpen that axe. Because there's literally people waiting for you to fail to celebrate that. There's people waiting for you to stop doing what you're doing to literally pop a bottle and be like, I told you not to do that business. I told you that it wasn't going to work. I told you was wasting your time doing that business. And that right there brings them so much fulfillment, bro. And it's sad that it works that way. They're just waiting for that first sign of failure to celebrate it. So family, do not, I know it is crazy. It's crazy that that's the world we live in, but it's the unfortunate truth. While we're over here not even wanting to celebrate because we haven't gotten to where we want to go to, we have people literally paying front row tickets to watch you fail. There's people paying for front row tickets to sit there and be the first ones to watch you fall. So don't give them that satisfaction. Don't give it to them. Don't even tell them what your next move is. Just work on yourself, work on yourself, work on yourself. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's going to be difficult. Okay, it's going to be difficult. But you got to keep going. Regardless of anything. Just got to keep going. Why did you stop wearing crystals? I still love crystals. I had a lot of old ones that had I just haven't bought any new ones, to be honest. I still love crystals. I think crystals are great. I think they're great reminders of just certain things. I had a lot of old crystals that I had for a long time. So I just haven't, got new ones, but I will eventually. But you got to remember, okay, that, you got to work on yourself. And this is something that I'm going to remind you guys every single day. You guys are going to get sick of it, but I'm going to remind you, because I didn't have somebody reminding me every day about these things. I didn't have somebody. But if I can be that somebody for you guys to remind you every day, like, yo, you got to sharpen that mind. You got to work on that emotional intelligence. You got to have that awareness. People aren't going to support you until the strangers start to celebrate you. I got to be the one to do it. I will, because I get that privilege and I get that blessing, family. So you still have Moldavite? Yeah, I still have it. Okay, family. So I'm super blessed, super grateful. Call Natalia because she's calling me. All right, family. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. That wraps up today's call. If you guys got value from the Lumberjack story, put a 111 in the chat box. All right, put a 111 in the chat box. Put a 111 in the chat box if you guys got value. Like this video if you guys got value from this. Use this Lumberjack story. A lot of people would really appreciate this Lumberjack story. Okay. Use it, leverage it, teach it to your teams. Okay. Because a lot of people need to hear the importance of sharpening their axe. The reason why a lot of people have not gotten to where they want to go to is because they haven't been sharpening their axe. And there's trees in the journey that have stopped them and have not allowed them to keep going because their axe wasn't sharp enough for them to cut down the tree. Okay. You sharpen that axe, you'll cut down any tree that life throws at you. If you don't sharpen that axe, those trees will stop you in your tracks. All right, family. So I appreciate you guys so much for hopping on. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys got value from this. I've heard the story plenty of times, and even after sharing it yesterday and sharing it again, it's just such a great reminder to hear it over and over and over again because it is so real. Because even myself, I have trees that are big now and bigger than they've ever been that I have to cut down. And just reminding myself, like, yo, Nano, you got to keep working on yourself. You got to keep sharpening that axe is really the key, family. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to do a quick prayer over us so we could go out there and have a great week, and then we'll go. All right. So quick prayer. Bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with another beautiful day for us to grow and for us to become a better version of ourselves. We are so thankful for your presence and your grace each and every single day. Your presence was felt today on today's call, and the beautiful story that you allowed us to listen to about the lumberjack and his axe. And we are going to work every single day to make sure that we are, sharpening our golden axe, because we understand that throughout the journey, there are going to be trees, there are going to be obstacles, there are going to be challenges that are going to be thrown our way, but they're not there to stop us. They're not there to bring us down. They're actually there to make us stronger, because every challenge that we face in life is not there to bring us down. It's actually there to make us better. So we understand that, and it's such a beautiful way for you to share that message with us today, God. And we really, really appreciate you for teaching us things and stories, because stories always is always such a better way for us to remember it. So we are just so thankful for the way that you're leading us, with the way that you're teaching us, the wisdom that you continue to provide us with. And we promise to continue to sharpen our axe each and every single day. So when those trees come down, we are ready to cut them no matter what happens, guys. So continue to guide us, stand by our side, give us the strength that we need to stay strong during these times, and allow ourselves to make the sacrifices that we need in order for us to get the things that we want in life, Father. So we appreciate you so much. Let's go out there and have a week filled with breakthroughs, filled with abundance, filled with just so many blessings. And we know that with you by our side, we can accomplish anything, God. We continue to pray for the individuals that need healing during this time, that need you by their side more than ever right now. And we pray that you put your hand over them and guide them and heal them during these times. But with that being said, let's go out there, God. Let's go have an incredible day filled with so much love and abundance. This is going to be a breakthrough week for a lot of us. And I'm just so thankful for everything, God. So we appreciate you. We love you. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys all have a phenomenal day. Continue to be great. Continue to sharpen that axe. And I hope that you guys really, really do have a phenomenal day, family, for real. Accept the breakthroughs that are coming. Accept all that is coming for you, because it really is coming big. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to this channel right here. If you haven't liked the video, leave a like below. Leave a like in the comment section. Leave a nice little comment in the comment section, and just know that I love you guys. So I see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Protect your energy, sharpen that axe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Let's go.